Hi, I'm Thomas with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And we got a special one for you. Normally it's between 2 shoes. Today, we're doing 3. And just before, if you don't know how these work, these are not our in-depth reviews. We've got in-depth reviews on each one of these shoes. You can either read the written review on our website, believeintherun.com, or watch the videos here on YouTube. Meg, we'll get started. Why don't we start with, which one's the first one that you had?
I think the first one I had was the SC Trainer from New Balance. So this is the max cushion shoe, the daily trainer from New Balance. So you've got 47 millimeters, 39 in the forefoot, so plenty of stack underfoot, and there's also a plate in here. So I found that this shoe was very responsive, bouncy, fun to run in.
We're starting with the heaviest one. This one weighs the most, Adam. This was, for my size, 10.5, around 11.4 ounces. I did like how much energy return you get back from the fuel cell. This one has the bounce, the resiliency. Like when you land on this, you feel it kind of pop back up. The plate helps with that. It's a fun cruiser. I wouldn't use it for race day. Some people will, but it's more for kind of like a training partner if you're gonna go ahead and use the SC Elite 3 for your race day. This works out really well.
Yeah, so a little heavier, but nice and responsive. You can pick up the pace, but better for your cruise days. Oh, one thing we should note, $180.
So the next one, we've got probably the sexiest out of them. I'd have to say.
Is it the Strung upper?
It's the Strung upper. It's the amount of Light Strike Pro. It's the rods. It's got it all.
Similar to the SC Trainer, you've got a ton of stack here, actually even more. So 49 millimeters in the forefoot, in the heel.
49.5.
49.5 in the heel.
And 41 in the front.
And 41 in the front. So just a ton of cushion underfoot. And then similar, instead of a plate, they have rods. So you've got these carbon fiber rods underneath. And so again, you're getting some definite bounce underfoot.
This is probably, of the shoes that we're talking about, probably the one that feels like most explosive off the foot. Like it really has a pop and a bounce and a toe off that just goes. Definitely can be used for racing. I did a 12-mile race in it and it felt pretty good. It does start to get a little heavy though on your foot, so it's not the lightest option. Even with the Strung upper, this is probably the least stable of the 3 supermax shoes that we're talking about. This one has that excitement. It has that sexiness. This is the shoe that I probably, if I wanted to go fast, this is gonna be my first choice in the fast of the Max Cush. So let's go on to the next one, Meg. This is the latest entry into the Supermax category.
Superblast from Asics.
This one takes their best foam from their Flight Foam Blast Turbo that you're gonna see in the Meta Speeds Sky and Edge, puts that on the top, and they take the great foam we love in the Nova Blast, the Flight Foam Blast Plus, puts it on the bottom, and has a pretty simple upper.
It's definitely a lot more stable. So if you're someone who likes a flat, larger platform, this is definitely gonna be the super shoe you're gearing towards. There is no plate, there are no rods, so you don't get that responsive bounciness like you get in these other 2 options.
I would say though it doesn't need a plate. If you look, I can't even bend the shoe.
But you also you're not getting that squish and
the resiliency. It doesn't pillow down and then pop back up. It just kind of has a nice cush all the way through. This
one is slightly less than the other 2 options here, but also they measure it a little differently. So 45.5 in the heel, 37.5 in the forefoot.
So when Megan's talking about, they're not measuring the AHAR Rubber Plus, which was really sticky and tacky. If you're worried about the Nova Blast, some people thought that the rubber on the bottom of that wasn't tacky enough. The AHAR Plus on the bottom of this, very tacky. So Meg, these all come in at different prices.
Yeah, so let's just go down the line here. We have the SC Trainer at $180, the Asics Superblast at $220, and the Adidas Adizero Prime X at a whopping $300.
You really have to invest in this shoe. And of the shoes, I think the most versatile would probably be the Asics. We were talking about this earlier. You could do all your training in this shoe. You could do everything from your easy runs, tempo runs. This shoe can kind of pick it up. And we're thinking about, for Tokyo, maybe using this shoe for our race day shoe. Whereas the other shoes I feel kind of feel a little more niche. This one's definitely your training, your cushy, your easy mile runner. With the weight and the way that the shoe reacts, it's not set up to be a shoe for me for a race day or even tempo runs. This is just for cruising miles and comfort. This one's kind of in a unique place. I wouldn't want to do all my training in it. I did find myself enjoying picking this out for different training, but when I got it out on the road, you kind of want to pick up the pace in it, and you start pushing the pace, and you have to throttle back if you're trying to do an easy run. And if you're trying to do a race, it's not as quite nimble on the foot as maybe a race day shoe. So kind of is in a weird spot.
Yeah, I think if you really are weight sensitive, you got to go with the Asics here. I think it's lighter than both of these by almost an ounce or so.
This one for my size 10 weighed 8.8 ounces. So this was the lightest. This one was just under 10 ounces. So it was a little bit on the heavier side. But like I said earlier, that one weighs 11.4 ounces.
Yeah, cheapest, lightest, most fun, but it comes at a premium. So, yeah. I mean, are you choosing one in this lineup?
Yeah, I mean, I would, it is so tough because I am gonna use them for different things, and I think that's what the problem with this category is. So it really is gonna depend on what you wanna use this shoe for. If you want a shoe for daily training and having your legs feel fresh after long runs, that's the SC Trainer. If you want a shoe that can do almost everything you need it to do, but maybe doesn't have the bounce and the cush that some of the other Max cushions have, I'm gonna go with the Asics. And then if you just want something to bounce around and have fun, you got an extra $300 lying around, the Primex Strung fits that bill.
We can't really choose, it's just, they're different.
All right, so that wraps it up. Like we said at the beginning of the review, if you want to get more in depth on any of these shoes, you can check out the website, believeintherun.com, or check out our videos here on YouTube. We'd love it if you'd like and share this video. Also, check us out on Instagram, join our Strava group, and we have 2 podcasts. We have The Drop, which is a weekly podcast where we have guests on all the time. It's interesting running content. And then we have Fuel for the Soul, where we have nutrition specifically for endurance athletes. Anything you want to add, Meg?
You've said it all.
Peace out.